All right, webheads, welcome back to another ep. We got me, DeMarco.
Me, Steven, and we got a guest here today.
Yep, Robert. Thank you for having me. Let's go.
And that's it.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, so what the hell have you guys been up to?
Man,
Actually, not you. Let's
Yeah.
get to our guest first. What have you been up to lately?
Not much, really. Just got a new job. I'm
Nice.
working for a performance arts center local in the Bay Area.
Nice.
I'm not gonna give out any names
don't do
for keep myself safe. But it's been pretty good. I'm working with the youth,
nice.
so that's pretty rewarding.
The youth.
The youth, yeah. Just kind of seeing like the glow on their eyes after doing a show or helping them set up their microphones and it's just really cool. It's been really rewarding. So
Nice.
that's pretty much it for the most part.
Before we go any further, tell us a little bit about yourself so the listeners know who you
Yeah,
are.
we know who you are.
Oh, my name is Robert. I go by Robby Rodelo. I'm a sound engineer, and I also do video. I went to school at Expression in Emeryville for sound arts. I make music. That's pretty much me. That's what I do. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got right now.
And we've known you for what?
14 years.
14 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because we met when I was 14, and I'm not gonna age myself. You could do the math from there. But yeah,
Long time.
long time. Yep.
Jesus.
Right.
I only know like 3 people that I've known for like more than, like outside of family that I've known for like more than like 15 years.
Yeah.
Even more than 10 years, really.
Yeah.
And he's one of them.
Yeah. That's what's up. I made it. I made it.
It's like 4. It's my wife, 2 friends from high school, and then him.
Yeah, that's an exclusive club.
Yeah.
I think you, maybe like a handful of people, maybe like 5, if that, you included. But yeah, it's crazy because you still live, well, Steve, you moved away from where you grew up, but like I still live where I pretty much grew up
Yeah.
and to have still only 5 or 6 people that like I knew since like elementary school and high school and everything is crazy to me.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's unfortunate, but
Yeah, but
it's life,
yeah,
man.
that's what happens.
It's not even unfortunate.
You're sad.
Yeah, I don't care. It was cool while it lasted.
Thanks for the memories.
Yeah,
Have a great summer. Dang.
that's what you got to write in every yearbook.
Hags. And it's over. See you next time.
What about you, Steve? What have you been up to?
I've been watching Spider-Man, the animated series,
Oh,
the one
sick.
from '94. It's been pretty fun. This is the first time I've ever watched it. Like,
Yeah, we
fully.
were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's funny watching these shows because like when you were younger and you saw stuff like this, like new characters would pop up and you're like, oh, cool, who's that? But you didn't have like the Shocker pops up and you're like, okay. He was cool, but I have no way of finding out who this guy is. And now because we've been doing this podcast for so long, like I know the characters that are popping up and like actually recognizing, even if it's like a side character, when they pop up, it's like, oh, okay, that's who that is. So it's been more interesting like that. And then for some reason, I'm on like season 4. There's 5 seasons. They've spent going into so many commercial breaks with Spider-Man falling off of a building. This man has webs that he can use to catch himself and continuously falls off of buildings. And they go into a commercial break like this man's gonna die when he
Right.
comes back.
Will he live? Come back and see.
Will he survive? I don't know. And I can just imagine sitting there as a kid like, oh shit,
Shoot.
Spider-Man's done.
This is the end.
This is
Yeah.
it. This guy, man.
And he continuously runs out of webs.
Yeah.
Right. Like as if you don't carry some
Yeah,
backups on you.
his suit is split in the middle.
Oh, the belt.
He has
Oh, yeah.
all of his
I
web
forgot about
cartridges
that belt.
on a belt.
I forgot about the belt.
He just pulls up his shirt, grabs a few out. Then he has to
to
pull
go.
his sleeve down.
While he's falling.
Yeah. He has to pull his sleeve down, open it up, put the cartridge in, close. And then he still takes time to put the glove back, pull his shirt back down, and then catch himself.
You can't let anybody know he's a white man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
They'll narrow it down from there.
That's the thing they've been hiding the
giveaway.
most.
Yeah.
I'm a white cis male. I gotta hide.
Dang.
Have you noticed anything about that show? Something that you never see? Because there's something that they do in the show that they couldn't put in the show.
I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I can't pinpoint it.
So like they're not allowed. They weren't allowed to show anybody getting punched or throw any punches.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah. So everybody, if you notice anything, they're either getting hit by like an object,
Like a box or something.
yeah, or like thrown or something. But no one ever actually throws an actual punch.
Oh, and all their guns use like lasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the police.
Yeah.
This was the one we were watching like growing up, right?
Mhm.
The WB
Yeah.
Yeah.
cartoons on
Yeah.
the weekend.
Yeah, even the cops have laser guns.
Yeah.
It's-
No one ever acknowledges it either.
No.
It's just like shoot him.
Yeah. Like Tony Stark.
yeah. It's fun. But they you could tell that they only had the ability to use like a certain amount of characters. So like Kingpin's the first 4 seasons, he's been there like nonstop, and then every other like Sinister Six character, Doc Ock, Lizard, like it's always just them.
Yeah.
And then they might throw a few other ones in there just to spice it up. But
I was watching something on YouTube a couple months ago, maybe like last month. They were talking about, I don't know if you know, there's a sequel kind of spin-off series, Spider-Man Unlimited, to that one. But they were talking about that, but they're also talking about how season 6 of the animated series was supposed to happen and what that was supposed to dive into. And it sounds like we kind of missed out on like a really good season 6, because I think he was supposed to go through like time and like team up with like other people to try to find like Mary Jane and all this stuff. So we missed out on that. But the sequel series, I don't know if you guys ever watched that, Spider-Man Unlimited. That one's weird.
I want to watch that.
Is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I've been watching this one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Took a Disney Plus break.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pay for them, like my niece and nephews.
Oh, yeah.
So I was giving them a break too. Be good to your mom and dad. Get Disney Plus. It's an unspoken thing too. One day they'll realize.
But they'll
it's
just be off.
Yeah, they'll realize it's Uncle Robert paying for it. Like, what the heck is his problem? But every time before I leave them, I say, "Hey, be good to your mom and dad. Listen to them." And I got wind that they weren't listening.
Just cut it off one day.
Change the password.
I saved some money. I just pulled the plug. I don't even get to watch it yet. Take a break, man. Gas is expensive right now. Shoot.
It's gonna get you half a gallon.
Yeah, shoot.
for Disney Plus.
It'll do its job.
Hey, I
Little tickle.
filled up this morning. It's like $87 to fill up.
I
Yeah.
believe you.
And Ferriel has to do that twice a week.
Oof.
I was stressed doing it. I was pissed. Everybody at the gas station just looked pissed off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it was the cheapest gas station in the city too. So everybody's just like,
The highest I've seen, at least in Hayward, was $6.19, and that was on Jackson, the Valero over there.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, I've only got to $5.99 so far. So.
Tracy's been pretty slow catching up to the gas prices. So even like early last week, we were still at like $4.20, and then like the next day, like Monday, it was like $4.20, and then Tuesday it was like $5.15. I was like, hey,
That's crazy.
let's talk about this.
Slow down.
Nothing doesn't seem right.
It's like watching the time change last night. Right.
Man, last night. I wasn't even drunk. That's the thing. So, like I was telling you earlier, my friends were like, "Oh, we're gonna go out there at 1," and they were offering me a ride to go with them, and I was like, "1? Like that's hella early," because we were just gonna be drinking the whole time. And if you guys know me, I'm not a big drinker. Like I'll drink, but I'm not gonna drink till 1 to end the night. So I was like, okay, Danny has some stuff to take care of, and I was like, I'm not even ready, so we'll be ready around we'll get out there around 4 or 5, or we'll leave the house around 4 or 5. Leave the house around 5, get there at 6. We get to the first bar. I have like a drink. I'm feeling cool after. It was small, so I just kind of chugged it just to kind of get to a little bit of a level
Trying
where
to
everyone
catch
else.
up a
Yeah.
little bit.
And then we jump on the scooters. It's like a 15-minute ride to the next bar. We get there. I'm feeling good. It was really just the boys. All the boys rode out on the scooters. And then
Danny's standing on the street just waving her hands like, what about me?
Just getting farther away as you guys leave.
all the girls Ubered there, so they got there like 10 minutes before we did. We get to the second one. I chugged their drink because they went to like a cider bar, so I chugged that one. We hop back on the
Oh,
scooters.
man.
Don't drink and drive, kids.
Yeah. I was waiting for this part. I
And-
know something happened.
No, nothing actually happened.
Damn.
Yeah.
We
I thought so too when you
I was
were
hoping for
telling
it.
me.
we scoot over to the next bar. It's like a tiki one. It was actually kind of cool. It reminded me of like Disneyland.
Like Trader Sam's?
Kind of like Trader Sam's, but kind of like Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Like how I don't know if you know, but like, remember when before you get into the actual ride, like the face is there and
Was
the
it,
lights
was
are
it the
gonna-
Tonga room?
What was it? I'll get the name.
Yeah.
But it was cool. They put us like we had like our own little booth. We were just chilling in there. Monica was trying to peer pressure me into drinking more because she said I had to catch up. I'm like, dude, I don't drink. Like,
I'm already pretty much caught up.
this is all I need to do. And she was like, you've been babysitting that the whole
Dang.
time. And I tell her, I was like, I haven't eaten since 9 o'clock in the morning. I need to take it slow. And she's like, no, drink it. And then Danny comes back from the bathroom, and then they're like, DeMarco hasn't finished his drink. And then she's like, yeah, we haven't eaten since 9. They're like, oh, let's go get food.
It's like
I'm like,
all
yeah.
of a sudden.
Like all of a sudden, DeMarco's not a liar. So I'm just sitting there, sipping my drink, like, you guys suck.
Right.
Yeah. You can never tell your friends that you actually are going through something. It's
Right.
like, no, I haven't eaten since this morning. No, you're
Nah. You're lying.
get out of here. You
Yeah.
finish it.
It takes your significant other. It always
Yeah.
the significant other.
And
but-
so like she came back. They're like, oh, let's go eat. And then we didn't eat for like another like 45 minutes. And I'm sitting there, and like the booth we were in was nice, but it was just narrow, So like you can't get comfortable. You're sitting. There was 10 of us, so we were like kind of like crunched in there.
sardines.
And then we finally get up to go eat. We get to this restaurant, and Juan's like, oh, it'd be cool. Like we can sit inside. We'll all be warm and everything. They sit us outside. It starts sprinkling.
Oh.
The little heater thing they have out there doesn't look like it's like fully on because it's kind of dim. And I see other ones that are hella bright, so I'm like, hey, can you turn this on like fully? And then she's like, no, that's as high as it goes. And we're all just like sitting there, just like freezing. And luckily, we got our food and everything. Kyle was nice enough to give me and Danny a ride home.
Oh.
It's out of his way.
Yeah.
But his car's super tiny, so like I was crunched in the middle, just like my ass hurt the whole time because the middle seat was like shaped weird.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm just ready to be home. Like I just want to be in bed. And then yeah, we get home, chill for a little, pass out, forget daylight savings time.
And then he shows up late. That's how it goes.
I thought it was gonna be me.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be me.
I for sure thought this morning when I got here, I was gonna get here first, and then he was gonna show up, and then he was gonna text us and say, "Hey."
Bro, I was thinking about it. I was like, look, I already did this once. I was like, I know I just picked daylight savings time to finally show up. It's my fault. You got to come through. So I didn't make any excuses.
Daylight savings time works for me. I don't think we should keep changing. I think this shit is stupid.
Yeah.
But it works for me because I get up early all the time, especially on the weekends. So I
This is your bread and butter, right?
yeah. This had no effect on me whatsoever.
Element.
So I woke up at 8:30, which means I really woke up at 7:30.
Yeah.
So technically,
You were up at the
I
right
was
time.
up at the right time. I just
Just society has made it harder on you, DeMarco.
I told Vario the other day. He texted me what time, and Rob texted me what time, and I said 8:30, and then I was like, hey, I should tell Mark 8:30 too, and I was like, daylight saving time is gonna fuck this up for somebody, and I was like, let me just give him a little bit more time because he's gonna lose an hour of sleep, and then I told you 8:30, you're like, cool, and I was talking to Vario last night. I was like, they're not gonna show up, they're gonna get there like 9, 10 o'clock.
I got here at 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
So we weren't too late
Yeah.
off of each other, you know.
if I would have remembered it was daylight savings, I would have been here on time. But just getting home late and then just wanting to go to bed, I didn't even think to like know that was gonna happen.
Right. My neighbor was being super loud last night too, so it's like I really wanted to sleep in, but like I made a commitment with you guys. I got to show up. I was here.
I was like, if he doesn't show up this time,
it's over.
I'm closing the window
Pulling
on
the plug. I
on
had
the
a feeling.
invite.
I had a feeling. I was like, all right, I gotta be here.
I'm not telling him when we're recording again.
I was like, I gotta be here for that reason. I like how you guys were like posse'd out on the
Oh, the
scooters.
scooter.
Like it was all the boys. It just reminded me of like Red Dead Redemption or something.
I felt like we were just like a
Going-
gang a little bit.
yeah, from
just-
saloon to saloon. Yeah.
We were like going in like there was like San Francisco, so like cars are like trying to like park or like drop people off. So we were just like going around them,
Yeah.
going like around buses and everything.
Did you hit the max speed on it?
I did for a minute.
Whoa.
I didn't, cause so like this is the first time I was on it, so I didn't know you had to hold down the little trigger. So I kept doing it, just kind of get a little bit of speed. I was like, let me just see what I can do, like full. So I just punched it, and I was zooming.
I took one in Tracy one time because I dropped off my truck and I thought I was gonna have a ride back to the house and I couldn't find one. I didn't want to take an Uber and I saw a scooter across the street, so I was like, all right, let me try it. And then I downloaded the app, started it, and then I was like, hey, how do you like kick this thing off? And then I'm just like, I got on and I just like keep scooting like I'm like, on a razor. And I'm like, yo, why isn't this thing like going anywhere? I'm like hitting the throttle, nothing's happening. And then I had to like stop and like Google it to figure out I had to go on with it. And I saw like you gotta like actually like kick off with it to like, get going and then hit the throttle. And then I hit that one kick, I hit the throttle and shit jumped. And I'm like on this busy ass street. So I hit the throttle, it like pops back a little bit, and like I'm looking around like hope nobody saw that, and like traffic gets stopped on the other side of the street, and I look over and there's just some guy just like staring at me. He's like, "Don't do it."
Damn, these things
Yeah.
are fast.
And then finally, when I got the hang of it, I'm going. I cross the street, and then I get to the street where it's just like empty. There's no cars turning down this way. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking book it. And I hit that throttle hella fast. I was like, oh shit! I was gone. And then the shit died on me like a half mile from the house. So don't go full speed the whole time you're riding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
I
couple
almost
times.
hit a curb also.
There's a couple times when I felt it kind of shake a little. I was like, oh, this is gonna be the time I fall. Like, this is
Yeah.
it.
That shit was
But
scary.
we got like towards like our second time like riding, we all kind of got like the hang of it because we were just like on an empty street. So we were just like, it felt like a gang again because we were just like, like going in and out. Like Kyle got hella low, just like riding it.
He got his technique down. This is how I'm gonna ride it.
I was trying to do like a bunny hop, but those things are heavy as hell.
Heavy as hell. You gotta go off the curb with it. Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine DeMarco zooming in San Francisco last night. Buzzed.
Just going through cars.
Kind of like a skater. I was like, damn, DeMarco. Yeah.
I have an actual scooter in my trunk too.
Okay. Yeah, for real.
No, I was like, damn, I wish I would have had this. There's lights on it on the wheels too.
Oh,
so-
okay.
You should have had Kyle go and just sketch on his back. Go off the shoulder and just ride through on the
That would have been badass. We can cuss on this? Yeah. Okay, shit. All right, shit.
Let me throw a couple out there too. Shit, fuck.
Shit, fuck. Oh my god. I don't know about him anymore. It's a bad influence.
This is your test.
Yeah, right. She's listening live right now. She's cutting it. She's cutting the audio for us too. Yeah. For real. Stop cussing.
Not welcome.
Right. Dang.
So let's get into it.
today we are doing a Shang-Chi story. It's I'm gonna just tell everybody now that if you wanted to read the story and you have any issues with seeing racist stuff and very offensive things, this is probably not the story that you want to read.
Is it like when you say that, right? Is it from the writer's perspective that they were being, or the
It's
animator?
probably the Times.
Okay, that's fair. I feel like it's probably.
It's,
like
I mean,
that
this
with
is
comics in general.
82.
Yep.
So they were still okay saying offensive things to people, and everybody's laughing it off.
Right. Like it
So
was
there's
joke.
it's not, it's definitely racist, but it's not super offensive. I can't say that because they're not saying it to me.
Right.
But there's some things in there that I probably just won't repeat.
And I'm assuming it's predominantly offensive to Asian community.
Yeah, solely.
Yeah, that's
Nobody else
unfortunate.
is offended on this. If you are, then you're probably faking it.
Right.
How many issues is this?
4.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Just from sometimes you tell me about a story and you're like, it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
And then it's like, or you say it's bad, but it's only like 1 or 2 issues.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine what we're gonna have to sit through for 4 issues.
Yeah.
It's,
Right.
Well, yeah.
Here we go.
You're just like, well, if I had to, you had to.
This is what the podcast is. So the name of the story was Fu Manchu, and so you can already
Right off
kind of
the
tell
bat.
where we're going.
right off the bat.
So the story itself was 4 issues,
Uh,
but when I started the first issue of the 4, I had no idea what was happening at all. I couldn't. There's no way I could have read through that and written anything on this, and had it make any kind of sense. So I just went back one to try to figure out what the hell's going on. It still didn't help much,
Yikes.
but here we are.
Okay.
So the main characters in the story it's a team called Freelance Restorations.
it's a team.
Yeah.
Sounds like someone's
It sounds like a-
dad's like restoration business.
It's some guy's construction company.
Oh man,
And so
that's a good one. It
it's
does though. It
really does.
We're the Fantastic Four. We're the Avengers.
We're Freelance Restoration.
Restoration service. 1-800.
They got a white pickup with a ladder on top.
Yeah. That's exactly what when DeMarco said that. I was just thinking of like all the contractors in this area with their their
He
vans.
just has a regular hammer.
Yeah.
One of them has a pocket knife. One of them has a hammer. And there's just one guy on the team who doesn't do anything, and he has a hard hat on.
Yeah.
You make sure everyone's safe.
Yeah.
He just looks at the rest of the team. Hey, hard hat. Hard hat. Put on your hat.
Put the signs around the fight so no pedestrians walk in.
Yeah.
Hey, no.
Are those boots non-slip?
Steel toe.
So the freelance restoration team is this guy, Dr. Petrie, who doesn't show up after I say this. This guy, Clive Reston, Blackjack Tar,
That's definitely
Yeah.
sus.
and
Dr. Petrie is sus too, like Petrie does.
yeah, he doesn't show up. He falls over one time in the story, and then they help him up, and that's
That
the last
was
you see of him.
It's the life alert guy.
Pretty-
Damn.
So we got Blackjack Tar, Lyko Wu, who I know Mark's heard of in the Shang-Chi stories that we did in the beginning. It's his girlfriend, basically.
Oh, okay.
She's
Oh, the one that was killed in the.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, in this part of the story, she used to be a member of the MI6 team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then we got Shang-Chi, and the leader of all them is this guy named Sir Dennis Nayland Smith. So,
This is the restoration team.
yeah, freelance restoration.
Yeah.
So the story goes from 115 to 118 in the Master of Kung Fu story, or book. But I had to start at 114, like I said, because 15 did not make sense to
Went
me.
over your head.
Yeah. So we start at this place called Stormhaven Castle. It stands proudly on the moors of Scotland, and it's owned by Sir Dennis Nayland Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just imagine a Scottish guy saying that name.
None of these people are Scottish. None of them. They just set up base in fucking Scotland for some reason. Why is Shang-Chi in...
Least expecting,
Yeah, I guess.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're going to have a freelance company.
Yeah.
hopefully-
Yeah.
Can I just say that when they make a second Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
I hope that they add the restoration
Yeah.
just a little bit, even if it's just on a white van
Yeah,
with a
that-
ladder
Yeah.
as a callback.
That would be great.
That would be so awesome.
Or have him and what's her name's character's name? Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah, have him and Katie work for freelance restoration as like a side job.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, his man has superpowers and he has to work a side job.
Right.
So yeah, we kind of pan into them in their castle, Stormhaven, and Shang-Chi is in the room and he's just blasting Rolling Stones,
Nice.
meditating, and he's meditating to Rolling Stones. And
He's a special kind of person.
yeah, a very special person. So Lyko comes in and she says, hey, Sir Dennis wants to see you. And I'm not calling him his whole name this whole time. That's 4 names. It's too much. So I'm just gonna call him Sir Dennis this whole time.
That's very respectful of you.
Or just
Thank you.
Dennis.
Yeah, just call him
No,
Dennis.
I'm calling him Sir Dennis.
Smith.
So Sir Dennis is talking to Shang-Chi, and she says, there's this lady named Mara Ling, and she contacted MI6's Hong Kong branch looking for protection from this supernatural assassin that's been chasing her for the last 40 years. 40.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Like, this has been happening for 40 years. I'm just tired of it now.
Right.
She's
I
yeah,
just need-
she's been getting chased for 40 years, and now is the time where she's like,
It's over.
I'm kind of sick of this. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. He's always here. It's like that. You ever see that question on Twitter where they're like, if for like $1 billion or something, like you can have $1 billion, but there's always gonna be a snail chasing you,
Like,
and like he can always get to you, and you don't know where he is. And then everybody's like, oh yeah, I'll just move across the country. But like,
It's still gonna find you.
yeah,
That's what you
how do you know he's not on the plane with you right now? And if he touches you, you die.
Oh. Just don't take the money.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm gonna take the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna spend that shit
Well, well,
quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you go to now, because even if you go to one place like across the country, right, and he's still here, he's already on that track to come get you.
But
so,
he always knows where you're at.
yeah,
So it's like, okay, cool. You're in California. You fly to New York. Like the amount of time that it would take him to just crawl across the country is like years. So
Yeah.
you think that you have time, but that's assuming that he didn't find some way onto a plane
Right.
or into somebody's luggage.
yeah.
And even if he's just gonna change routes, he's gonna find you. But yeah, we're going off track here. That was my fault. So yeah, she's been getting chased for 40 years, and she's like, I need help. You guys gotta help me here. So Shang-Chi was like, all right, cool. But what does this have to do with me? She contacted MI6. This has nothing to do with me. And Dennis says, the Sifan are chasing her. And Sifan is a group of suicidal assassins put together by the presumed dead Fu Manchu. So these are his...
Fathers, assassins.
yeah, Fu Manchu is Shang-Chi's dad. So yeah, these are his deadly assassins that are chasing this lady, or have been.
In all honesty, what does that have to do with me?
Yeah.
Like, that's my dad's people, but it's not me.
I didn't,
That's-
I
it
didn't
is.
sign up for
Yeah.
that.
So Shang-Chi reluctantly agrees to go help her out. And then Lyko drives him to the airport, and they give each other a long kiss, say their goodbyes, and then he hops on a plane to Hong Kong. When he arrives at the destination, the Sifan are already there trying to kill this lady.
Jeez.
Like, they're on her ass. They're there. And then he quickly hops the fence, and he just gets the ass whooping. The Sifan aren't there to play. They're fighting back, and now it's becoming... When they're fighting, Mara comes out of her house to try to figure out, like, what's all this shit going on in my yard?
Right.
Oh, it's just the assassins trying to kill me the
Yeah.
past 40 years.
It's all good.
So when she when she comes out, the Sifan stop fighting, and then he just grabs a spear from his side and just chucks it at her. And Shang-Chi tries to leap to block it, and he ends up running into another Sifan and knocking him out. So there's So let me get this out first. So the Sifan isn't just one person.
Yeah.
Like, it's a team of assassins, and they're good at their job. So they didn't just show up with one trying to kill her.
Yeah.
He just ran into one
Oh, it's like
and
another
started
one
fighting.
kinda
Yeah.
popped up.
So
Okay.
when he tries to stop the spear, he ends up running into a hidden one that was there.
I thought you meant like he just ran and then like one was standing there that he just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what the? So, and then, so because he runs into the Sifan, he can't stop the spear. But Mara's husband, who is, I'm going to say a warrior of some kind. He's a blind archer.
Wow.
Uh,
Hawkeye would be pissed. I think.
Yeah,
I think he would be a little upset. Or maybe very impressed, actually. I don't know.
maybe.
he would lose a job.
For sure. Like, dude, this.
They're like, you're an archer, but he's a blind archer.
And he's
We
a
need some
little-
diversity.
Yeah, the Avengers are like, we have the diversity inclusion. We gotta put him on the team.
For sure.
And then Hawkeye just turns back into Goliath again. Like, well, fuck this, man. I'm not gonna. Like, what do you guys have me here for? So yeah, the husband stops the spear. He's blind. He catches the spear. I don't know how he did that, but Mara's husband is pissed that anybody showed up to help him and his wife in the first place. He's like, I didn't ask for you guys to come here.
Pride.
You guys, like, I've been protecting my wife for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? And then Mara explains how she, he gets pissed off. He goes to sleep. He's like, you know, screw you
He
guys.
went to sleep.
Yeah.
He slept it off.
After he just
He just stopped the spear from
Right.
killing his wife. He's like, what the hell are you guys doing here? I didn't ask for this. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to
nap
sleep.
time.
Yeah. So when when he goes to sleep, Mara explains to Shang-Chi how she met her husband and why she's running from the Sifan. She says she met her husband many years ago, but her parents forbid her from marrying him because they had already lined up a marriage to Fu Manchu for her. And her husband now came from like a poor background. So their parents weren't having it. And then she ended up marrying Fu Manchu. he wanted to consummate the marriage, and she just wasn't okay with it because she didn't want to be there in the first place. So so he just starts bribing her with stuff.
Oh man,
He's
we're just at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
This is
I know, I
gnarly.
just realized this is only the beginning.
This is gnarly.
yeah. So I guess I don't know if that was a trigger warning for anybody, but just in case, he gets kind of weird with it. But yeah, he starts bribing her with stuff. He says, like, I'll let you leave, but like you gotta let me hit at least once. Like,
Oh my god.
she's like, no, like I'm not doing that. I love somebody else. I'm not doing that. And he's like, okay, I got something else for you. He's like,
Alright,
he's like,
you wanna do that?
okay, fine. You don't want to do that. You don't want to leave. And I was like, you just one time. Come on. So he's like, I got one more thing. He's like, I got this elixir, and it's the elixir of life. It'll make you immortal. You'll stay young forever. That means an option. I can give this to you if you just one time. That's it. So so she's like, all right, cool, I'll take it. So she does it. She does it. She gets the serum, and he says, like, I'll give it to you, but like this is gonna, like, just one time. That's all I'm asking. I'll give you enough to last the rest of your life. That's it. Like, you'll have enough to stay alive forever. And she's like, yeah, cool, I'll take it. And then
He's not a virgin, is he? I mean, but before this.
no, I don't think so.
He's trying. He's trying.
So she does it, and then she takes the serum. She's like, all right, cool, give me that. I'm out of here. And then she runs off. And he's been chasing her for 40 years because she did that.
That's what he told her to do.
Yeah, but he, like, how good did that have to be
Right.
for him to hit once? And then he's like, nah, I got to get that back.
Yeah.
For 40 years. This man is immortal. He's been living for God knows how long.
Oh my gosh.
And he's been chasing this girl for 40 years.
He want that old thing back.
Yeah.
He want that old thing back.
He's like, where is she?
Yeah.
Where is she? I know where she's at. He's calling her. He doesn't say anything. You just hear him.
Oh my god. Put it on mute.
And finally, right before he hangs up, he unmutes it and he's like, shit.
You gotta stop calling me. You have to stop. You have to stop.
So that's why she's been running from him for the last 40 years.
Yeah. It's kind of scary. I think I would run too.
Yeah, you probably should.
Give me elixir of life just so you can keep chasing me.
Like, this lady easily could have died like 20 years ago. He's like, no, you drink that. Go ahead, take
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Watch what happens.
Yeah.
I'm coming back for you.
You're gonna come back. This isn't an option. So
Wait, so are the ninjas, whatever, the warriors, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
so are they trying to kill her?
that's what she thinks.
It seems like it, right? So
That's
far.
what I mean. Throwing a spear at somebody, that's a pretty good sign that you want to kill them.
Right.
He's like, if I'm not gonna have it, nobody is.
Nobody is. Wasted the elixir. It's like at this point, 40 years into it, she's not coming back.
He's waiting for that return on investment.
Exactly. Make sure you collect some of the sample because I need that back. I need it.
So for the last 40 years, her and her husband have been drinking the elixir. So they both have kept themselves alive.
Double dipping.
Yeah.
That's probably why
He
wants
probably
to-
found out.
Yeah.
He's like,
He giving
you letting
this-
him
he
drink
giving
it?
this blind. This blind
I
worship.
gave you that, and you gonna let him drink it? What is this? Mara, how could you do this to me? So when she's telling Shang-Chi all of this, her husband overhears it. And this whole time, her husband thought that she stole the serum.
Oh.
She didn't know that she
she didn't tell
let dude
him.
hit for it. And so the husband got pissed off. He storms out of the house. He was creeping around the corner listening to the whole conversation.
I can't believe this.
This bitch had me drinking his elixir? His?
Not the store bought. His.
I've been running for 40 years because she got this from this man after she let him hit.
But didn't want to let him hit again.
This was a gift from him. And I've been running for my life for 40 years because of a gift.
Mind you, I cannot see.
Yeah. Me running for my life is not an easy thing to do.
Literally. Oh man.
So he gets pissed off and he storms out. And then when this isn't funny.
This is essentially a sugar daddy situation turned
Yeah.
back.
It is. Yeah.
Very bad. And this next part isn't funny, so I'm going to try to stop myself from laughing real quick. But when they find him, he's been killed. And
Oh, the husband?
yeah.
Oh man.
Damn.
Good thing I
so-
didn't say what I was
R.I.P.
gonna say.
So
before.
so the Sifan had still been waiting outside of the house
Yeah.
this whole time. They were creeping on her. And I guess they killed him. They hung him in the tree.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah.
These are
this is
definitely.
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting that.
Right.
So now the Sifan are at the door and they're ready to kill Sorry, they're ready to kill Mara. And
Whoa.
Shang-Chi he stands up. He's like, all right, well, I was sent here to protect you, so I got to fight. And then
Shang-Chi puts Chief Keef on.
I'm in Jersey.
Stones, yeah.
I'm in Jersey. He sends him the location. He's like, that doesn't look like Jersey, but I'm on my way.
Oh, man.
So Shang-Chi's fighting for his life, and then he beats the Sifan and carries Mara's husband from the tree back to the house so they can bury him. And then by the time he gets back after fighting, by the time he gets back to the house with the husband, Mara has already taken a few sips of poison so that she can leave with her husband.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was the end of that issue.
So she passed on as well.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right when he gets there, though, right?
Yeah. Right after, so the husband dies, Shang-Chi goes out to fight, and then, I guess in the shame that she felt from hiding that secret the whole time, she just poisons herself and ends it all.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's dark.
That was the one that I didn't need to read, that I kind of
That's
needed.
probably like the best one.
If
Probably the best one
after
out.
the story, that's probably going to be true. So then we cut over to 115, and this is where the story is supposed to start. But that was kind of a way to explain how messed up and crazy his dad is, and it kind of makes sense later on. So 115, we cut into the middle of a meeting involving Shang-Chi and the rest of the freelance restorations team, and they're discussing how their leader, Sir Dennis, has now somehow gone completely broke. He has no money, and he's going to lose Stormhaven, their castle, like quickly. He has no money to pay for any of that. And that just kind of goes back to
Went to the Wesley Snipes School for paying taxes.
So
He's like, stop being royalty. It's going to make me free of taxes.
I thought
You
when
named yourself sir.
Right.
This is not a giving title.
that's not even what your parents named you.
Hell no.
You just threw that on. It's not even legal. You just tell people to call you sir. So the whole team is just sitting there. They're very confused on how this whole thing is happening.
He was a scammer.
Yeah.
He was a scammer.
You got that PPP loan.
Yeah, he did. They came and got him.
So yeah, they're all confused. I am also very confused at this point. We cut over
Confused, I'm
to
confused.
Do they never mention what happened with his funds?
no, not at all. You'd probably have to go further back.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
it
I'm
was a
not going
callback.
to. So yeah, we cut over to, these names are ridiculous. Fa Lo Su, that's Shang-Chi's sister.
Like follow suit.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think of that, but works for
Maybe.
me. I'm just gonna call her Sue
Because
this whole time.
it's his sister, right? So
Yeah.
she's following.
Damn, this guy's good. We might have to add a third face to the
Sometimes
cover.
I think a little too deeply. Like, oh, maybe this makes sense.
So-
Don't worry, I reach, so you're going to be like, might have been too much, Rob. I don't think that's right.
So we cut over to Sue, Shang-Chi's sister, and she's standing up on the balcony in her warehouse, and she's overlooking this man named Li Ching Li, and he's sparring with somebody at the MI6 headquarters. And then Sir Dennis shows up for a meeting with Sue, and we find out that she called him to contract him to kill one of her MI6 agents. And then we find out that the person that she wants killed is the guy that she was just overlooking, this Li Ching Lin.
Okay. He must be like a rat.
Yeah. So she says, if you do this job, you'll be cleared of all the debt that you have, and then your mansion is safe. You won't lose your castle. So he's like, there's a lot of bribing
Blood
going
money,
on
huh?
here.
Is that blood money?
Yeah, I could kill somebody.
My castle, the life, body for body.
Construction work, killing somebody, it's the same thing.
Heck no.
You know, it's probably all the refurbishment he was doing that just he was getting sued for.
Yeah. He didn't get any permits for it.
Showing up with just plywood and nails and just like, your stove's fixed, ma'am.
He got no permits when they came to do the inspections. They were like, you got to tear all this shit
And
down.
your sink is not hooked up to any piping whatsoever.
There's a gallon of milk under your sink. What is this?
What's going on here?
I don't know what you're
Who
expecting
did
to
this
happen.
contract work for you?
So it's a freelance restoration.
This guy, Sir Dennis?
I don't know a sir. I know a Dennis. That's not his real name.
So without checking with the rest of his team, Sir Dennis is like, yeah, we'll take it. Like, whatever saves my mansion, we're good. And then he heads back to Stormhaven, and he wants to fill in the team on the mission that they now have. I don't know why he brought everybody on the team to the table when he only talks to Shang-Chi, and he's like, I need you to find this guy, incapacitate him, and then deliver him to me. And then Shang-Chi just kind of like stares at him. He's like, oh, okay,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
So he just hops on a plane to London to go find the guy. And then we cut over to Shang-Chi, shows up right at the guy's door. Like, doesn't go, no
no
hiding,
TSA.
nothing. He's like, he just goes to the guy's door, knocks on it, and then the guy's like, oh, hey, what's up?
That's it.
Yeah. And Shang-Chi's like,
It's too easy.
Shang-Chi's like, I need you to come with me. Like, they don't know each other at all. He's like, I need you to come with me. And then Li Ching is like, all right, let me just grab my coat. And then he turns around and grabs his coat, and he's like, psych! And he swings out.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better.
And then they start fighting. It's an even battle until Li Ching flips Shang-Chi through a mirror and then just jumps out the window himself. evading Shang-Chi for now. And then Shang-Chi was like, well, all right, well, didn't expect it to be that easy. So he just starts looking through the guy's apartment for clues.
Go to this drawer, this drawer.
Ooh, so money.
This guy has a lot of coupons in here.
Yeah.
So then we cut over to Li Ching, and he's showing up at this guy named Wang Yu Seng's apartment. And then
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Li Ching tells him, he was like, I was attacked by Shang-Chi. And then Wong says, perfect, our plan to take out every MI6 former and present member. Plan is in play now.
Cool.
Why?
Why not?
Just because someone's coming to kill you, now your plan's in play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Press the button.
So Wong, he gives Li Ching a mask, and he says, from now on, you're going to go by Death Dealer.
Oh.
And from the movie, you know Death Dealer. And then,
Spoiler.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. If you haven't seen it,
Yeah, Rob hasn't seen Shang-Chi
you
yet.
really should.
Even-
Stop right
even
now.
though
Just watch it. I'm here. Don't be like me.
Even though he has his nieces and nephews Disney Plus password.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, but
Sorry, guys.
it's okay. But so yeah, so now Li Ching is going by Death Dealer, and that is what I'm going to call him from now on. And then after looking through Li Ching's stuff, Shang-Chi finds out that Li Ching is an MI6 agent, and then he just leaves and he heads over to Lyko Wu. She has an apartment in London as well, so he heads over to her place. That's his girl. Why not?
Yeah.
So-
some crumpets, some tea. You're in London. Be as the Londoners.
And then so for some reason, Lyko and Clive Reston, one of the freelance guys, they're already at the apartment. And then Clive, as soon as Shang-Chi walks in, Clive gets right into it, and he tells Shang-Chi that you're probably doing this mission. You probably don't know everything that's going on with this mission. You're probably doing somebody's dirty work right now. And you're probably, like, the guy that you're looking for is probably innocent. And then just as Shang-Chi starts to question everything, Blackjack Tar bursts in through the door. And he says, you guys are all wrong. Everybody here is wrong. I overheard Wang telling Li Chang that he needs to come kill Shang-Chi first.
Ooh.
So you better, and now he's going by Death Dealer, so you better watch out.
Because he's dealing death.
Yeah. So,
Watch out, everybody.
Yeah, right.
and then,
like his name now is making him more dangerous or
Yeah.
anything. He could have killed you.
Yeah.
now.
like, yeah, he's a trained assassin.
Like the mask and the name is not really changing much bit. But now that he is the death dealer,
Yeah,
that's,
now he means business.
Yeah, everybody's eyes get all big. And he's like, whoa,
oh,
what?
shit, what happened since I came and got him in the first place? I must have really did a number on this guy.
They must have enacted their plan now.
Yeah, right, right. Oh shit.
So after Blackjack tells them, like, he's Death Dealer now, you guys really need to watch out. Seconds later, a grenade comes through the window, and it kills Clive Reston, and Death Dealer comes through the door. So, so Blackjack wasn't playing around.
Yeah,
He's like, no, he's really
came
gonna
right
kill.
away.
And then as Death Dealer searches a flat for all of them, Shang-Chi starts searching for Death Dealer. When out of nowhere, he gets jumped from behind by Death Dealer, and they start to battle it out in the rubble of the building. Minutes later, a gunshot disarms Dealer, and we see that Clive Reston is actually still alive.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. The guy that none of us have ever heard of.
Right. Resting.
So yeah, he's alive. He has a pistol in hand, and Death Dealer starts running towards the window to jump out. We cut over to...
Question.
No.
Does Death Dealer look like in the movies or?
Yeah, almost exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the mask,
Yeah.
the white mask, and then yeah, like the whole little black getup. Yeah, same thing. Even the things on the top,
Oh, cool.
the little tassel-looking things.
Oh, okay, I see.
So yeah, I almost said Daredevil.
Just call him DD.
I don't think I'm going to. That makes it. All my notes say DD.
DD.
Yeah. So DD. No, I can't do that. It sounds like I'm trying
sorry.
to do Dexter's Laboratory.
DD.
My laboratory.
So Death Dealer runs, jumps out the window, back at Stormhaven, where now the whole restorations team is back over there. Shang-Chi is digging through Sir Dennis's drawers, trying to find forged mortgage papers that he heard about.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's great detail.
He's trying to find forged mortgage
That's
papers
great detail.
because Sue, his sister, had given them to Sir Dennis to kill Death Dealer. And he thinks that that's going to be the clue to figure out whether he was actually trying to kill an innocent man.
Right.
Just to
Or
save
if it's
all-
justified.
Yeah. So while he's looking through Sir Dennis's drawers, Sir Dennis walks in and he tells Shang-Chi all the truth that he knows. And he tells Shang-Chi this was all a play against your sister. So I agreed to what your sister wanted so I could kind of run a play on her at this point.
Double cross.
Yeah.
Triple cross.
But because he did that, that also means that he is going to lose his castle.
Dang.
He doesn't actually, he's not keeping it now. So later on, later on in the night, they're sitting, like the whole construction team is just sitting there. They're playing cards.
Yeah.
Clive is getting drunk. He spills his beer on like one of the cards, and then for some reason the face of the card starts coming off of it.
Ooh, that's creepy.
And then when it peels off, they see that there's like a whole picture of something behind the card.
If you put them together like a
Yeah, so
puzzle.
they start peeling. They spill shit on all of them. Start peeling off the faces of the cards, and then they realize that it's basically just a big ass puzzle.
I'm gonna wait for you to keep going, so
Yes,
then I can
I'm
ask
almost done
questions.
with this part. And then they figure out that they're all false face cards. They start piecing them together, and they realize that it's just one big ass calling card for Fu Manchu. And then that was the end of that issue.
So, someone who works for Fu Manchu came to this. Where are they? In someone's house.
So I failed to mention in this part when Death Dealer threw the grenade through the Lyco's window, blew up the whole building. He one of his calling cards is to for some reason throw playing cards. I don't get it.
Like Gambit.
Kinda.
So you
Yeah.
just leave,
But
like, a deck of
Gambits
cards?
explode,
Right.
and
His is
he's
just
just
there.
like chucking them.
It's like
his
a brand new
business
deck of
card.
cards.
Yeah,
Here's a-
yeah, brand new. Why don't you play yourself a game?
Some guy's dead on the ground. Here's a 4 of spades for you. It doesn't make sense.
That's
No.
savagery.
Do I think that they wrote it in for just this part? Yeah.
So he left his deck of cards, and their idea is to.
This
let's just
man,
play
had,
cards.
this man had multiple packs of cards. And I think that in the rubble of all that stuff that's going on, this lady's apartment is now
It's destroyed,
rocks.
right?
It's just nothing but rocks. And then one of them saw a pack of cards and was like,
Let's do this.
hey, grab that.
This is the lady. This is his Shang-Chi's girlfriend, right?
Yeah, she's also part of the team.
That explains Death Dealer. Now that explains the
Okay,
name,
that see,
right?
I'm glad that we
Oh,
have him here because
okay.
The cards, right?
I guess.
Yeah, and they might have written that just to give us that kind of
Death Dealer,
idea.
he's dealing out the cards, and then
Dealing
little
out,
do they know
yeah.
that the card behind the face of the card is actually Fu Manchu's. This guy's good.
That, I mean, it's
Still,
a stretch, but
but
Yeah,
still,
it's a real
I mean, when you explain it like that, it's like, okay, that makes sense, but
Maybe,
it's still
yeah.
ridiculous
Yeah.
nonetheless.
So, and okay, so that was the first issue that you were supposed to read, right?
Right.
Had you just read that from the beginning, where the fuck are you supposed to go from here? Like,
Right.
like you just threw me in the middle of action, like straight off the bat.
And you didn't know that the issue before passed away.
Yeah.
And right, the elixir of life
Mhm.
was the reason that he was after them.
Yeah, and the so we'll just keep going.
Okay.
So, so that was 115, and then we get to the next one, 116. Like I said before, each card of the deck is a separate piece of the puzzle that when they put together, it's a picture of Fu Manchu's fortress. Shang-Chi then he starts thinking on his past, on how he was raised as a deadly assassin. And now the whole team is just kind of questioning, we thought Fu Manchu was dead. Why does he have a killer trying to come get us?
This is a Palpatine has returned.
That's what I was thinking.
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
Every time. It's like he has clones and copies of himself.
So they're like, yeah, we all thought he was dead. What the hell's going on? After talking to Sir Dennis explains that he thinks Fu Manchu is a master to Wang Yu Sang, who is a master of Death Dealer.
Huh. So the order of operations is starting to unfold here.
A pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
Still ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dennis sends Shang-Chi, Blackjack Tar, and Lyco to get more info on Wang Yu. Right when they're leaving, the cops show up with eviction papers on the castle.
Do cops bring eviction papers?
Yeah, they do actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If they have to, if the management's not
Yeah,
willing
if-
to do it themselves, they can get law enforcement involved.
Mhm.
Can't imagine. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
it's a castle.
that's a lot, right?
So
Just
the
a
cops,
big old castle door just
the property manager shows up at the castle. Dennis.
Are you gonna love it or are you gonna list it?
So the cop hands them the eviction papers saying you guys got to be out by midnight. Doesn't even give him time to pack. He's like, midnight. It's dark out
Right.
already. They're like,
Like, bro, we got stuff to do.
yeah. Like I'm not gonna sit here and watch you guys. I'll be back at midnight. You guys got to be out.
Better get your shit out of here. Dang.
So then we cut over
Not taking
to
anything.
Right.
no, you got to pack a bag like you're traveling.
I think you should add a sensitivity warning in case
Yeah.
you've been evicted.
Yeah, I'm
ever.
sorry, guys.
This is just speaking for myself right now. It's bringing some PTSD in.
Oh, tell me.
Except I have never been evicted from a castle before, which would
No.
probably be a different set of problems.
Yeah. You got,
Imagine how many rooms you just
Right. All the furniture. What do you do?
No, yeah, you can't do
Yeah,
anything.
just leave it.
you're leaving everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, pack one bag like you're traveling across
Just
country.
your underwear and
Yeah.
socks and some shirts and like 2 pairs of pants. From riches to rags.
So after the cops leave, we cut over back to London. Blackjack and Shang-Chi climb onto a roof, we find out is Wang Yu's roof.
Okay.
And they're spying on him through a little skylight that he has up there. But they aren't actually they're not paying attention well enough to realize that a gang of fighters are now behind them on the roof. And those fighters whoop their ass. Shang-Chi and Blackjack finally start to get the upper hand on everybody. And the fighters just like stop fighting mid-fight and just start running away.
We didn't think we'd get this far.
You gotta get out while we're ahead. So after they run off, Blackjack's just like, hey, we gotta go search the house. Like, we gotta find some clues here. And when they're in there, he happens upon a trap door, and then the trap door opens up to under the house, and, and then he sees Wang Yu on a speedboat taking off.
Damn.
He's like, I'm out of here.
What?
He's just like looking back on the speedboat,
Yeah,
just like,
with the deuces.
yeah.
Not even looking back, just like holding
Hey.
it up, just about. Yeah.
So we cut back to Stormhaven, and then all of a sudden these three goons just kind of show up, and they kidnap Sir Dennis. And none of the restorations team is able to stop these people.
Yeah.
So they just drag Sir Dennis off, throw him in the car, and then just take off. Meanwhile, Shang-Chi, Blackjack, and Lyko make their way to MI6 headquarters so that Shang-Chi can confront his sister on why she tried to have Li Qing been killed. And he also wanted to know why she believes that Fu Manchu is still alive, because he doesn't believe it. Mm-hmm. Back in the car, Blackjack just received word from Reston that Sir Dennis has been kidnapped. So he and Lyko take off, leaving Shang-Chi inside to deal with his sister by himself. Oh yeah, so he deals with his sister. Nothing really happens between the two of them. They just argue. His sister says, Dad's still alive, whatever. Shang-Chi just gets pissed off, and he's like, well, I'm just going to go back to the apartment. I don't feel like dealing with this. But he doesn't know that Blackjack and Lyko left. So when he gets out there, he's like, well, where is everybody? But being Shang-Chi, he's like, well, if they left me here for a good reason, so I'll just walk. So
Oh shoot.
so he starts walking through this alley towards Reston's place, because Lyko's place got blown up. So he's heading towards Reston's place, and I lost my place. And yeah, so he's walking down this alley, and he's attacked by his sister's guards.
Oh no.
And they think that he's some killer and that he's come to hurt his sister for some reason. They realize after he beats their ass that he is actually who he is. And
The hands is what showed him. He's like, oh yeah, this dude is for real. This is who he is.
and they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm sorry, I didn't, like, we thought you were
Even though
somebody
they got
else.
their
This
ass.
asshole will teach you who I am.
I'm about to remind you guys. What these hands do.
And so they apologize and they just run off down the alley. And he tries to put on a chase.
Hell no.
And then they hit a corner. And then
They're gone.
when they hit that corner, he hears like these loud ass screams.
Oh no.
So when he finally gets to that corner, he realizes that both of the guards are now dead. And he sees no one else down there. But these guys are just torn to pieces, like body parts missing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this happened in seconds.
Supernatural.
Like, he's like,
Okay, real quick. Can you, like, I know that these people live in a world where people have superpowers,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But you got to think that sometimes they just see something and they're like what was that? There has to still be some kind of surprise in their life.
For sure.
Where they're just like
That ain't cool.
that, what the that doesn't happen.
Like,
What
I
the-
just beat them up. I wasn't trying to. I didn't want this for them.
Oh, my man's missing an arm right now.
And just like a pinky, just for good measure. Just take the pinky. It's
Like,
calling, that's his calling.
what happened here?
Hell no. Bully Maguire showed up. Hell no.
I don't see how that's my problem.
Excuse me.
So,
Oh, man.
so yeah, he sees nobody else down there. But down at the end of the alley, there's some light coming through, and he sees like this large, shapeless shadow moving through the light at the end of the tunnel. And then when it gets out of the tunnel, he can see that something just hopped into the back of a truck. And so he starts running. He barely catches it. He gets out of the tunnel, leaps towards the truck as it's moving, catches it by a couple fingers, pulls himself onto the truck, and he just rides it out until they stop.
Smooth. Like a style.
And he's trying to
Like a style.
he's hanging onto the back of the truck, and he kind of looks over to see if he can see who's driving it. It's Death Dealer driving the truck. Still in full mask,
Yeah.
everything. So he stays holding onto the truck for a while, and then it starts to slow down once it's reached his graveyard. And then knowing that he needs to hide, now that his truck is stopped, he has like his little canopy on the back of the bed of the truck. So he's like, all right, let me just hop in there, hide so they don't see me. That's a big mistake.
Oh, no.
When he hops into the back of the truck, there's like this 10-foot scorpion.
Oh my
Inside the
goodness.
back of-
That was the figure.
Yeah. There's this 10-foot scorpion sitting in the back of the truck, and and Shang-Chi is not prepared for
Yeah, no kidding.
this 10-foot scorpion staring at him. So Shang-Chi gets his ass whooped, and he ends up getting stabbed by the scorpion and poisoned, and Death Dealer just drags him away at that point. We now see Shang-Chi on a makeshift operating table, and some old creep is like draining Shang-Chi's blood and mixing it in these vials and drinking it. And then
What kind of story is this?
and then as soon as he drinks it, his appearance starts to change, and then now all of a sudden we're staring at a very young looking Fu Manchu.
Oh, Palpatine vibes for sure. For sure.
And he says, I've been using the elixir of life all these years to keep me alive, but suddenly my body stopped reacting to it. So I started experimenting and soon realized that the only thing that would fix the elixir for me is the blood of my children.
This guy's great, eh? Bad.
Yeah. So I decided to kidnap the both of you guys and start draining your blood until there's nothing left of you, so that I can continue to live forever.
Where does the scorpion come into?
No, they just had it.
They just had it.
They just had it.
I mean, if you can get a 10-foot scorpion,
Yeah, I
Marco,
mean-
you get it, right? You get it.
I mean, I guess so, but so,
No, I guess so. If somebody says, if I have the money and somebody says, "Hey, I got a 10-foot scorpion,"
Yeah, and it
you want it
on command.
And all of
yeah,
my
it's like on command. It's like it's like a dog at this point.
yeah, right. Do you take it? It's like just in the pool.
Nah, me and that scorpion are best friends now. I'm riding on the back of that scorpion.
Going to the grocery store on
Gas prices, I don't give a shit. Me and this guy are riding down the freeway.
Right.
I don't care how long it takes him to get there. So yeah, now his plan is to take all their blood, mix it with the elixir, so he can continue to forever.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Would you say that for people who maybe haven't seen the movie, would you say that these issues are post or pre?
I would say these are a completely different universe.
Oh, okay. All right.
These would help you none.
That's fair.
Watching that movie.
I feel like that's perfect because that's
Yeah.
kind of where we're
You
headed
would,
right now. Movie-wise, I think, right?
Yeah, you would only know his dad's not the same in the movie. His sister's not. Freelance restorations are not there.
Right.
The only commonalities there are what Death Dealer and Shang-Chi.
Oh,
That's
wow.
it.
For good measure, probably, too.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't imagine they would want to run with this story at all.
This gives me, like, HBO series. Like, James Gunn, if you're listening, vibes. Like,
Yeah, this gives me
like
like
a Peacemaker type of
Uh,
story.
Oh.
That was rude.
I forgot that I don't remember putting that on the sound pads anywhere. And I remembered I had it in front of me. No, sorry, that was a real bird, guys. We're outside today. Yeah, I could see this being a James Gunn kind of thing, and I can also see this being a very bad YouTube movie
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
because this just goes all over the place. So yeah, real quick, back to the dad says he's using their blood to mix with his elixir now, so he can stay young forever again. Because the elixir that he's been using works for an hour or two, and then he starts quickly aging backwards again. So he now plans to start his world takeover using their blood and staying young. He plans to keep Shang-Chi locked under this cemetery as long as he possibly can to just continue drawing his blood whenever he feels like it.
only lasts for an hour.
Yeah, but with his children's blood, the effects stay intact a lot longer.
Oh, okay.
Days
How do
at
you
a
even
time.
figure that out?
You gotta be a fucked up guy.
Right.
It's the only thing I can think of. You know what would probably help this? My kid's blood. The kids that I don't really give a shit about. Let me see if their blood helps us at all. So that was 116. We're at 117 now. We cut over to Sir Dennis, and we see that his kidnappers have brought him to a Sifon hideout. And then we cut immediately back to Stormhaven, and the restoration team is worried because they haven't heard from Shang-Chi since they left him at his sister's place. And they've just officially been evicted. The cop showed back up and told them, now's the time, you guys got to go. At this point, Shang-Chi has freed himself from the shackles on his father's operating table, and he goes to look for his dad. He's like, you can't just do all this stuff and then I get out and I'm just gonna walk off. Like we gotta
We gotta
work
talk
something out
about
here.
some things.
And he quickly finds Fu Manchu, and Fu Manchu has not a single worry that his son is just staring him in the face at all. Okay, he got out.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
So what?
And then Fu Manchu tells Shang-Chi, I'm not worried about you right now. You're like, we'll have you captured in a few minutes. This is no big deal. He's like, Sir Dennis is enjoying a beatdown right now from the Sifon. Your sister is going to be captured later tonight. All of your friends have just been kicked out of my mansion.
Oh man.
And then Shang-Chi's kind of looking at him like, what do you mean my mansion?
Yeah.
And he was like, you don't think that I've thought all this stuff through?
Right.
He's-
He's like, dude, I'm collecting your blood.
Yeah. He's like, I've owned
Yeah.
Stormhaven for years at this point. This is not a new thing
Yeah.
for me. And then Shang-Chi is like, okay, yeah, whatever. That's like, all that's cool, but I thought you were dead. Like, okay, cool. You kidnapped me.
Let's
You're going to
skip all
kidnap my
this
sister.
bullshit, yeah.
Okay, it's your mansion. You were dead last week.
Nah, motherfucker, I'm right here.
He's like,
In
we
the
all thought you
flesh.
were dead, like in the New York Harbor. And then Fu Manchu was like, have you never heard of swimming? Like,
Swimming motherfucker.
Yeah, right. Burn.
out of nowhere comes Death Dealer, and him and Shang-Chi are going at it again. But Death Dealer soon realizes that Shang-Chi isn't as weak as you would think he would be after having all of his blood drained. And he tells Fu Manchu, like, you got to get out of here because I don't think I can hold him off.
Oh shit. Yeah, shit.
And Shang-Chi throws Death Dealer through a brick wall. When they come out on the other side of the wall, Death Dealer just makes a break for it. He's like, I'm not doing it.
I like how this guy knows his he knows.
He knows all of his limitations.
Yeah, he's like, all right, this is too much.
Mid-fight,
man.
he's like, hey, I can't do this.
You gotta get out of here, dude. You don't pay me enough. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now. All this family shit is going over my head.
So Death Dealer makes a break for it. When Shang-Chi tries to chase him, he tries searching different rooms, trying to find him throughout the the cemetery that they're in. He goes into some room and there's nothing but monsters and aliens in the room.
Ooh. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm following along with you.
Yeah.
I was trying to find some maybe a resource to follow along with. I was on the Marvel database. So
Yeah.
Okay.
There's that kind of help there.
What the hell is he have? A monkey?
Yeah, don't try to follow along too long because I skipped a lot of shit because this was stupid. So he goes into that room. There's monsters, aliens, but there's no Death Dealer. When he makes it out of the dungeon, he sees a Death Dealer and Fu Manchu just hopped in a helicopter, and now they're flying away. So Shang-Chi makes his way over to Clive Reston's place, like he had originally planned when he was going through that alley. Back at Reston's place, Freelance Restoration team is getting breakfast ready when they get a call from Fa Lo Su telling them where Sir Dennis is, so they all run out of the door to go save him. As soon as they all make it out of the house blows up, and they tell Shang-Chi, or Shang-Chi is walking up to the house. He's barely standing. He has no energy.
He's been at it for a
Yeah.
little while.
Like the whole
Poor
night.
dude, like he had to walk from the apartment to the other apartment. Like,
So they, because he's so weak now, Lyko immediately takes Shang-Chi to the hospital, and the doctor says like he has to stay here for like 3 days. Like he needs help. Lyko stays there with him through the night. She falls asleep. As soon as she falls asleep, Shang-Chi sneaks out of the window of the hospital, and he goes to save his sister because he knows like Dad's on his way.
he's on her.
And when he arrives at his sister's place, it looks like he's already too late. And the only one left at her place is her bodyguard, this woman named Dark Angel. And she starts fighting him, and she's like, "Why did you come back here?" And he keeps fighting her, but he's like, "I don't know what the hell the girl's talking about." And she's like, "You kidnapped my sister you kidnapped your sister 20 minutes ago. Now you're back here to fight me? Like, what's the point? You already took what you needed." So that's when he stops fighting, and he's obviously confused, just like everybody else is.
He's like, "You got a point there."
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, I've just had a rough couple days. But these hands are ready. Honestly.
But he pauses for a second because he's like, "Okay, yeah, that doesn't make sense." But then he gets back to fighting her.
Oh.
And then out of nowhere, Lyko walks in behind him, and she has a gun in her hand. She tells everybody, like, "Freeze. Like, I'm not playing these games with you guys anymore. You guys got to stop." And she tells both of them to stop fighting and explains that there's a fake Shang-Chi with a large scar over his eye that Fu Manchu has been using to kill people.
Oh, that explains it.
And then she says Shang-Chi needs some rest. She makes him lay down, go to sleep for the night. And then her and Dark Angel go to help Blackjack Tar and Clive Reston find Sir Dennis. And then she's like, "We'll all meet up in the morning. We'll go find your sister and your dad, and then we'll go from there." And then now we finally have reached the last issue on this wonderful story. So we're at 118. The next day, the team of Blackjack, Shang-Chi, and Reston are now parachuting into Fu Manchu's fortress. And once they land, and they land in some wooded area.
Tree.
They're running through the woods to the fortress, and then suddenly they're just surrounded by Sifan on horseback, like completely surrounded. And while they're not gonna wait for the fight to come to them, so they start beating ass.
Jeez.
Well, they start fighting the Sifan. Fu Manchu and has Fa Lo Su chained to another operating table, and he's draining her blood for the same reasons. Back in the woods, Shang-Chi and the boys finally get the upper hand after beating 20 of the people by himself. 20 of the Sifan by himself.
Damn.
Yeah, but there's still more.
How do you even I can't imagine just taking out like 3 people,
Right.
but 20 people.
Yeah.
Of you just whooping ass and aren't these like supernatural like beings or?
No, they're just highly
they're
trained
just-
assassins.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're just
They're just humans.
Yeah.
No super strength serum.
no, they can catch hands. Like
Yeah.
there's no stopping
20 of them is still a lot.
That's
though.
a lot.
That's a lot of
And
people.
trained assassins at that.
Right,
Like,
right. On top
you're
of
not-
that.
Yeah, you're not just going to a bar and beating up 20
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
You're beating
That
us
might be
20
easier.
It's not just like a 1-2 punch
Yeah.
combo for you. You got to like throw some kicks and some somersaults in there.
Yeah, you gotta flip over people.
On horseback, mind you.
Yeah, what
Damn.
happened to all those horses?
They left
We
probably.
don't talk about how many horses you beat up.
Oh my
It was
god.
20 people and 35 horses.
Yo, Shang-Chi. Yo.
Sucker punching all these horses.
Just punch him right in the snout.
he knocks out a person, then immediately turns around because he thinks it's another guy behind him.
It's a
It's a horse. He clocks the horse and he's like, "Oh, that wasn't that bad. I could do that."
Yeah, yeah.
He just keeps going.
Heat of my ass. Gotcha.
He's like, "You brought him here. I gotta take you out."
Technically, they're on your team. I gotta take
Yeah,
them.
yeah. We love animals. We love animals. Just it's all jokes.
So yeah, after beating the 20 people by himself, he's like, "All right, Blackjack and Clive can handle themselves. I'm gonna get out of here and go find my dad." So it's Fu Manchu's fortress. He grew up there, so he knows his way around the place. We cut over to Fu Manchu, ready to take his elixir. He's talking to the fake Shang-Chi, explaining how he was cloned and how he needs to be a better son than the real Shang-Chi. Listen, I
That's
made you
creepy.
to look exactly like my son.
Yeah.
Be better.
Be better
You
than
need to
him.
be better than he is. You need to be a good son for me.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Couldn't he just? Oh wait.
Couldn't you have just treated your son right?
That's
Like-
definitely.
not try to drain his blood?
Yeah.
He's a good man. He's on
Like-
the right side of history.
Like, I thought you were dead, and then you show up back in my life, and it's not like, oh man, I missed you, son. It's like, "Now get on the table.
Oh, no.
I need your blood. Oh, for what? Like, are you okay? Are you? Yeah, no, I just can't live
I just
without
want
this.
it.
Like,
I just need it.
I want to live forever and not have you around.
yeah, like you're gonna die at one point. I don't plan on doing that.
But you see him? He's a perfect clone of you, and I'm actually more content with this one than you. So
Yeah, he's like, you need to be a better son than my actual son. And
Fair
so the real Shang-Chi he's sneaking around the fortress. He finds the room full of vials of now his sister's blood and the elixir mixed together. And he's like, well, I'm not gonna just let him keep this. He just breaks everything, throws it on the floor, kicks it. He's kicking through it. He's roundhousing
just roundhousing
the vials of blood. There's blood everywhere in this room now.
That seems like a lot of work. Just to,
Yeah.
just knock the table over.
just knock the table
Yeah.
over, push a shelf over or something.
Blow it up.
There's gotta be a garbage can in there somewhere.
Or a
Right.
sink. Or just pour it
Something.
down.
Yeah, right.
So after knocking everything down, he's walking through the rest of the rooms and the hallways. It's bringing back all these memories from when he was younger. He walks into his old room, and seconds later, he's sliced in the back with the sword.
Ooh.
And then standing there is a death dealer, and he has like this triple blade.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
It just looks like 3 knives. Like
Yeah,
Put together?
Yeah, blade here, and then just one sticking out.
Ooh.
Right here. And that shit is huge.
yeah, it's almost like a cross,
Okay.
Yeah.
but with knives.
So yeah, death dealer standing there with the triple blade, and he's whooping Shang-Chi's ass until Shang-Chi grabs a torch and he ignites death dealer's costume, and he just burns him to death.
Wow.
He just stands there screaming at the top of his lungs because he's being burned to
He's
death.
just watching him.
And then Shang-Chi is just like, damn, that sucks, man. Like, I didn't want to have to do that to him, but
And then he leaves a deck of cards for
Yeah, right. Takes out a cigarette, fucking lights it real quick.
it's a pack of Uno cards.
Motherfucker.
Look like I'm the death dealer now.
He hands him the reverse Uno card. I'm dead.
Yeah, that would be so badass. Uno, though. Uno.
So now Shang-Chi's racing around trying to find his sister, who he does find on the operating table, and she's pretty close to dying. He saves her. He runs off. He just gets her off the table. He's like, all right, I gotta go.
yeah.
I'm out of here. He runs into an old teacher of his. He beats the teacher's ass, and then his sister shows up and shoots the teacher.
Dang.
This guy was just going about his day.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my old student.
Hey, it's good to see you. Oh,
Roundhouse to the face.
I've been meaning to tell you.
And then the sister comes in. And
Just
is like,
smacks him. Bang. It's over.
So then we cut over to Fu Manchu, who's getting ready to finally drink his elixir that he mixed with his daughter's blood. He has a whole ceremony for this thing. Strips down, he gets in the pool.
They always have ceremonies, right?
For what?
Just get it done, dude.
Yeah, drink it.
Just get it done.
You already have it in your hand.
Yeah.
You don't have to make this some kind of sexy event. Just get in
Yeah.
just drink it.
And he's by himself.
He's there with his maid.
That's even weirder.
He gets
Hell
in the
no.
pool.
You know for sure she didn't want to see that.
Hell no, she's.
And he's there with his maid. The maid brings him the elixir, and then out of nowhere, Shang-Chi bursts in and tells him, like, if you drink that, that's gonna be the last sip of our family's blood,
For sure.
like, you ever drink. So you better enjoy it if you do it.
But if you don't do it,
You might get live. It's all good.
He's like, because I don't know if you know, but I just wrecked that whole room of blood that you got. And his dad's like, I don't know who you think you are, but you're not leaving this castle without more of your blood in my room.
Like
You're
I gave you life. I could take it away.
like you're
Trying to
gonna
have a talk.
It's like when you break one of your parents' things. Like, no, you're gonna fix that, and we're not leaving this room until you fix it.
Oh my god.
So he's like, yeah, you're not leaving this fortress without giving me more of your blood. And then out of nowhere, Shang-Chi's sister shows up again. She bursts in with her gun in hand, and then she shoots the maid.
Oh my god.
And
She's just shooting everybody.
And she tries to shoot her dad, and then Shang-Chi smacks the gun out of her hand. Like
The
you didn't. I told you not to leave the
table.
room you were in
Yeah.
the first place. You shoot my teacher, and now you
Shot
shoot
the maid. You're shooting everybody but the person we need shot right now.
She's like, get the hell out of here. Like, go.
She's like, well, I'm getting to that, but you just smacked the gun out of my hand now, dude.
That should have been the first person. He was
people
right
that don't
there.
need to be shot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
This is why you don't need guns.
This is the beginning of someone who has the taste for killing.
Yeah. Yeah.
She killed the teacher's like, ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's like the bomb on the sound pad. It's like I know I keep saying that we're blowing people's houses up, but like after a couple, it feels good. Like she just shoots a couple people, and it's like I could do this again.
Yeah, for sure. Insert the explosion.
So now that Shang-Chi was yelling at her, like, why the hell you keep shooting people? Her dad, or their dad gets away, and he just swims under the water. And he, of course, it's his fortress, so he has like tunnels leading to other places underwater. he makes it out, and he finally makes it to where the fake Shang-Chi is, and he tells him like, you got to get in there and kill like the real one. He's here. Like, but he keeps calling, he keeps talking to the fake Shang-Chi and calling the real Shang-Chi his brother. So he's like, you got to go kill your brother. You're my favorite one.
That's so crazy. I thought that it was gonna be the clone that was gonna be behind him in his room.
Yeah,
That would have made for like a good fighting scene, I think.
that would have made for a better story.
Yeah.
Than this. So
It's
yeah.
not that bad, guys. It's not.
Nah, it's
that
not too bad. So yeah, he tells him like, you gotta go kill your brother and the sister too, because like I need their blood. You're like, he's like, he treats the fake one so well. He's like, I would never take your blood because
You're
you're,
right.
you're the better
You're
son.
next, buddy. He treats him so well because he does all the bad shit for him.
And then so we cut over to Reston and Blackjack, and they're setting up explosives in the fortress along the support pillars. And then out of nowhere, they're jumped by more Sifon. Reston ends up dropping the detonator down some big tunnel there, but it lands on the button to set off the detonator.
Oh.
So now they have 30 minutes to find Shang-Chi and get the hell out of there before the whole place blows up.
That's a nice duration of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very.
I thought you were saying 30
very
seconds. It's like, oh,
Oh, 30 minutes. That's not bad. We can get out of
let's
here.
get some lunch.
Yeah.
Can you, like, you let's say they finish the fight, they did what they need to do, and then you just give yourself 30 minutes just to kind of get away.
You know how far you can get in 30
Yeah,
minutes
right.
walking?
Right, and let alone smashing in a car or a plane, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you're giving people a lot of time to get out of there and like figure some shit out.
But that's very realistic, though.
No, it is.
Right?
Is it?
It's more realistic than you would think for a comic book.
Yeah.
Like for a comic book, I was expecting like
5
Oh,
minutes.
you got 5
maybe.
minutes to get out of here before
Yeah.
this whole thing blows up. You have 90 seconds.
Or like
The whole
movies,
thing.
there's always like 90 seconds,
Yeah.
but the scene is like 10 minutes long. It's
Yeah.
like, what the?
Like we passed 90 seconds 10 minutes ago. So yeah, they have the 30 minutes. Now Shang-Chi's looking around the fortress looking for his dad when out of nowhere he's jumped by the fake Shang-Chi. Back and forth they go. Backflips, they're throwing each other out of windows. They have baton fights, everything that you can think of in a
Epic battle.
yeah,
Because
just
it's
not
him
as
versus himself.
Dark version.
and then before the real Shang-Chi throws the fake one through Fu Manchu's office. They're on the roof of the building now. The real one throws the fake one through the skylight of Fu Manchu's office, and he hits the ground. The only thing that breaks his fall is glass shards on the ground,
Ooh,
and kills him.
brutal.
Yeah,
It's like a wrestling match.
a really good
Hell
one.
yeah.
That's
Like
what I
that
was
Marco.
on.
Hell yeah, Marco. What?
So Fu Manchu is like, he's panicking right now. He's freaking out, and he tries to drink. So the fake Shang-Chi is now on the ground bleeding out.
Oh my
so
gosh.
he's like, no, I got to save his blood. I need that blood to save myself. And
So he basically goes cannibal.
yeah, he says to stop myself from aging, I need the blood. So he has a vial. He's just trying to like scoop it up off the ground in the vial. And then as soon as he gets some in the vial, the real Shang-Chi smacks it out of his hand.
Oh.
So, and the vial crashes against the wall, it breaks. So now Fu Manchu is like really aged at this point. He looks like he's 120. And so Shang-Chi tells him,
Kinda old.
Shang-Chi tells him, I hate you. And he says, if you want the blood that's on the ground right there, you're gonna have to lick it up like a dog.
You should have peed on the blood.
Yeah,
He
for sure.
should have. That might have given him more powers or something.
It's just like he's pissing.
Aha.
You gotta lap it up, doggy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he tells him you gotta lick it off the ground like a dog, and then he does it.
Ooh.
He-
Jesus. He's desperate though.
yeah, he starts licking out up the blood off the ground, and then he does it. But the timer is now
For the bombs?
It's like 10 seconds now.
What the hell?
So he's as he's licking up the blood off of the ground, the bomb goes off, and Blackjack and Clive Reston are like already at a safe distance away, but they're like, well, shit, we couldn't get him out of there. We just lost Shang-Chi
And his sister, right?
and the sister. Yeah. Oh no, sorry, the sister got away with Blackjack and Clive.
And
So it was only Shang-Chi and Fu Manchu inside.
okay.
Yeah.
Smith is out the way too.
Yeah. So when the smoke settles, Blackjack, Reston, and Follow Sue head back in to retrieve Shang-Chi's body. And then when they get in there, they find out that he's in just a clear spot, no rubble around him, and
Perfect.
he's sitting there cross-legged meditating. And then that was it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the end of the story.
Wow, that was a lot.
That was too much. It wasn't the worst story that I've ever read on here for sure.
I was like, when I was following through, I was like, the artwork looks pretty cool.
Yeah, the artwork was really good.
Yeah, very smooth. Like,
You said it was 82.
yeah, 1982.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean, the artwork looks good. Some of the fighting scenes, like when you find the monsters, like that looked pretty cool because they do like some like shadow work. You just see like just the shadows. That was pretty cool.
In your opinion, do you think in the 80s is when the animation starts getting better?
Compared to like the 70s and 60s, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, of course, as the decades go on, it gets better.
Right.
Because you get different artists with like their own style and like some of the artwork that you see now, you definitely weren't going to see in like the 80s or like the 70s or 90s.
There's too much. There's way more detail now than there
Yeah.
ever was
Mhm.
before. But
And like different art styles. I mean, you'll see like more stylized like interpretations of like someone's body or like just the way they look now that versus back then.
It was a little more blocky.
This
back
one's
then.
more grounded in terms
Yeah,
of
like
how
this
it
is the
looks.
cover for like the first part of the.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, and then if you slide through, you can see like the. I might say though that the 90s might have been like a little valley in some of the artwork.
Yeah, there's
before it
definitely
came
some
back
weird
up.
stuff in the 90s.
They did like some of the comics in the 90s did way too much shading. So
I guess that's kind of what my question was like. Was that maybe the 80s was somewhat of a golden age for animation?
I mean, it ranges book by book. Like you'll see some books and like the art's just like not there. You know,
because they use so many different artists for like it's not just one artist doing every book. Like one artist is only doing like maybe 1 or 2 books. Then you have another artist doing another 3.
yeah.
And then in the middle of a story, they might change the artist for that week or that month, and then go back to the same artist again. So now like the 3rd story out of 5 has like some weird artwork.
Compared to the first
Yeah.
few. That makes sense.
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry, just a question.
So, no. So what do you think? What are you giving it?
You know, as ridiculous as it was in some parts and just crazy, I'm gonna give it the stamp.
There we go. I'll give them 2 for. I gotta turn it up.
Give them 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the stamp. It was good. I guess long, but not really long. But yeah, I'll give it the stamp.
It was a long read. For 4 or 5 issues, it took me a while to read it. Like, we were supposed to record last week, and I couldn't get it done in a week. Like, I had to keep stopping, like, go back and read a little bit to, like, make sure I actually understood what was going on.
Yeah.
But if it was just the 4 issues, I guess you still could have gotten the whole story. But after reading that one previous one, it felt like that kind of added to, like, Fu Manchu's insanity
Yeah, for sure.
of it all.
I think it was important to include that.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and don't want to do that. Yeah, fuck it. It was good. Sorry, guys.
Nice.
What do you think?
I liked it.
Think so?
Yeah, I do. I think it was important to go to the previous issue, because I think having that story of just how basically he pushed that woman to the point of insanity, and
Yeah.
she had to betray her significant other because it was. I mean, that secret was pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Honestly, and just the fact that led to her husband's demise and then eventually her poisoning herself. It adds weight to the 4 issues that we just went over.
Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't. I feel like I say this all the time, but I don't think that some people realize that some of these stories are happening. This story started 115 issues into his whole story. This is his dad. He's been dealing with his fucking dad being this crazy for
A long time.
115 issues. It's at least what, like 10 years almost, maybe a little bit more, give or take. His dad's fucking crazy. And this was a climax. It was. I forget sometimes too that this is in the middle of a whole greater story, and it's just weird sometimes.
Yeah, that's a good point because that could definitely mean an up or down for a story. You know, like that could be the climax to something that's been building up for years, and then it could just be the total just show. Yeah,
Yeah.
flop. Or it can be like something that's like a set point in like the universe where like it's always referenced, or you know, it's like a big story that like changes everything. So yeah, just the fact that you have to sometimes wait years and years to get to that point is. Yeah, we kind of forget about that when we read these.
Yeah, that and the fact that they were only releasing these once a month. So like
Wow.
this is a story that took 4 months to pan out.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
some of the other ones we do is like a year and a half, 8 months, 9 months, and then we sit here and read it and tell you guys about it for an hour and a half.
Which is awesome. Keep listening.
Please,
Support the webheads.
please.
Um,
Anything?
I was gonna say I think it's great for the character as well because it really gives you an appreciation for just how much shit he has to deal with. Not just him and his sister though. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, the situation's not cool, but his resilience is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're giving it an approval on your part?
I would give it an approval. Whoa, that's awesome.
I didn't get to use the Paul Walker this week.
That's awesome.
So I feel like we've gone long enough on this one. We're going to call it a week. Thanks for coming this week, Rob.
Thank you.
Great
Yeah,
having
thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Where can everybody follow you at?
You can follow me on Instagram at Robby Rodelo. Also, you can go to robbyrodelo.com and check me out. It was a pleasure being with you guys again. You guys are really good friends of mine, and this
Always.
is really cool to see you guys doing
Anytime you actually show up,
Mhm.
you're welcome.
this. Yeah, that's definitely on me. That's really nice though to extend the offer. I'll
Yeah.
definitely take advantage of it more often.
Thank you. We appreciate that. We
Anytime.
appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
Where can anybody find you, DeMarco?
Instagram, DeMarco_Lamont.
You.
That's pretty much all I'm on.
Yeah.
So forget about it, cuz.
You didn't hear that? That was that Paul Walker. Forget about it, cuz. No one's going to follow him. They probably will.
Follow him. Come
Follow
on.
me.
What was it again?
DeMarco_Lamont.
Because this is not the only podcast you do.
Yes, you can also listen to my other podcast, Memories Not Guaranteed. That's so loud.
I know. I don't want
Uh,
anybody to hear it.
just finished our second season, coming up with plans for the season 3. So go check that out.
What else can you guys do?
I don't know.
A bunch. A bunch.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I don't know what else we can do.
Let Steven put you in that corner. Don't let him put you in that corner.
I didn't. I thought,
He said,
I
"What
thought
else
you
can
had
you
something
do?"
in the pipeline.
He said, "Not much." Oh my god.
I thought I was actually like setting you up. Like, oh damn, here we go. Like, oh, we're doing this. We're doing this.
I don't know what we
I don't
got
know.
planned, what we can do, but we're coming back with the third season. So
Yeah.
you guys listen and figure it out with me.
You guys have a date for it yet?
No.
Okay.
So, but we have 2 seasons of other episodes you guys can listen to.
Go
if you
back and
wanna-
listen to those.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to most of our episodes.
Yes.
Spotify, YouTube.
Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio.
Oh, that's
Podcasts.
awesome.
Oh,
there you go.
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, we just hit 1,000 listens too.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hit the cheers.
That wasn't it.
Was that the explosion?
No, I
can't hear.
He said hit the cheers, and it was just a laugh track. All right, we're going to call it a day.
Bye.
Bye. Peace out.